a hair wig.
We had Mickey Truth.
Who is this? You got Mickey Truth kicked out.
Shout out Mickey.
Let's get one thing clear. This your girl, Mickey Truth.
But she had no. I'm sorry, because it gets serious.
I understand. It's deeper than and I'll say this,
Right.
it's deeper than
No,
I thought,
no,
so
ma'am.
that's why I was like,
No,
whoa, I
ma'am.
ain't know all this was like part of the story.
Right.
So take your time, because
Yes,
like just
ma'am.
having to, but I'm glad that you want to speak about it because it sounds like, because I do have a question.
Mhm.
So if it wasn't protocol to do the forensic testing or whatever, then why did they eventually get the warrant? Because if it wasn't protocol from the start, like what made them was like, do you think they dropped the ball on that on their end, and because they were pressed about it, they did it? Because that part kind of threw me. I'm like, if it's not part of the procedure to do the forensic, why did eventually after you called and had a nurse talk to them and all that, they did it?
Right. Okay. Well. Okay. Yeah. You see, You see that this is a lot. This is a lot. This is a lot. So okay. So now that my daughter. Okay. So, well, man, it's a lot.
Yeah,
Okay.
take your
So
time.
okay. So that I'm gonna back up a little bit because I missed a little part.
Okay.
This occurred the early morning of November the 28th. So that was the early morning after Thanksgiving. Well, I will go back to like between 4 o'clock a.m. and 4:30. It was that I don't know if that's where the domestic dispute started, which was a gas station, but it was a officer. I don't know whether it was an officer or a deputy, but I know it was a law enforcement. It was a policeman inside of the store that she ran inside of the store and ran behind the counter. They it was told to me that the officer asked her, "Are you okay?" But what person is okay that would run inside of a store and run behind the counter?
Right.
Okay. Well, by an eyewitness, the subject came in the store behind her and had words with the officer. Well, the
Hmm.
person that gave this statement actually gave my daughter a ride home from that store. But the subject that the police did not intervene, the subject followed them back to my mother's house.
Mm.
And that's how she ended up with him because my mama said she could hear a motor racing outside. And by the time she realized it was somebody out there, she could hear the male voice saying, "Get your damn ass in the car."
Mm.
Okay. She was like, by the time she got to the door, the car was gone. She was like, Lafaysia, we call her Fefe for short. She was like, she called Fefe name a couple of times. Fefe didn't answer. She was like, she went back in the house. But that is that time of the morning. People, after she went to the door, she picked up her phone. She had a missed call. Actually, the missed call was the phone of the subject grandmother.
Mm.
Okay, so that my mama called. Okay, my mama, because I had to get phone records. The missed call was at 4:43. My mama returned the missed call at 4:48. My mama said when the woman answered the phone, her reply was my mama reply my mama response was, "Who is this?" The lady reply was, "Who is this?" My mother stated her name, Mary Rogers. Well, the subject grandma stated her name because they actually know each other. Okay. So she
Mm-hmm.
was like, I had a missed call. She was, the subject grandmother reply was, must have been one of them children, which she called him by his nickname, which is Palmer. But not the subject, not knowing that his grandmother was on the phone with my mama, he actually entered his grandmother's house. Like I said, my mother returned phone call was at 4:48. But the subject grandma response to him when he came in the house, why do you have all that blood on your clothes? He said, it's not my blood, it's Fefe blood. Not knowing that it's my mama that's on the other end of the phone, that his grandmother is talking to him. Okay. So, like I say now, once again, police has stated to me that they could see, like, in a neighborhood where she was slumped over in a car on the passenger side. But they said they couldn't say whether she was unconscious or whether she was asleep. But he took her to three different locations within that vicinity. But all along, she was unconscious the whole time because the third stop is where he took her out of the car and put her in one of her girlfriend cars and told them, like I said, and told them to take her to the hospital, not to call the ambulance or the police because they would assume that he was responsible for her injuries. Okay, well, like I said, I get to the hospital. I haven't even seen my child yet because they were still working on her, not knowing it was as severe as it was.
Right.
Whenever, if I have to repeat myself, that, like I said, that was the detective actually pulling up at the hospital. And still, yeah, I haven't seen my daughter. So I don't even know that she's in the actual state that she was in. So,
Mm-hmm.
like I said, he revealed to me that they seen a wig on the floor, a pair of pants, the handgun, and one tennis shoe. And they did see a good amount of blood about the passenger side of the car. Okay, well, both both statements that he gave to the sheriff department and police department, both both officials said that the story he told do not add up, and neither
Right.
report that he gave them wasn't the same story, and both said the same thing. His story wasn't adding up. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so as said, he said that she jumped out of the car. Um, Fast forward, she stayed in ICU from November 28th until she deceased from her injuries on December the 5th. Well, right. So I had to go to the victim's advocate's office. The chief of police walked up to me like, how y'all doing? Looking at him like, how you think we doing?
Right.
First thing he say, because he could hear the tone, y'all coming up here with an attitude. Did y'all go and ask the sheriff department what is they doing? Okay, that was like around December the 15th. She was buried on the 13th, so this around December the 15th. The thing
Mm-hmm.
was, I didn't even come up there to talk to y'all about that. I came to see the victim's advocate. Well,
Yeah.
that is December the 15th. My daughter passed December the 5th. That was my first knowledge, my first hearing that the sheriff department had anything to do with the case. Because,
Mm-hmm.
all right, well, it was, well, I went to the sheriff's office, did speak to the sheriff and his lead detective. And the lead detective was like, he can't step on the city toes or intrude into their
Politics.
into their investigation until they tell him to or ask for his assistance. Well, that's December the 15th. Well, I ended up having a meeting with the mayor, the city administrator. It was just a lot, talking to the chief of police. He telling me he talked to the solicitor, and because remember my daughter deceased December the 5th, still December, still pretty much the city never had any charges brought about.
Right.
Okay, so but
So let me ask you this one question.
mhm.
Did they release him the day that the
Yeah,
same
they,
day?
they, they ain't do nothing but detain him, and
Mm,
that you say that they did inquire that whenever they approached the subject, he did have blood on his shirt. He did have
mm.
blood on his shirt. Well, that they detained him, he still went back home with the bloody shirt. He was
I was
detained.
just gonna ask, did they get the shirt?
No, no, no.
Mm,
And like I say, if I must remind you, I did say in both police reports, they both stated that his story wasn't adding up.
right.
They did tape off the car that he was in.
After giving him back the gun, though, right?
No, all of that should have no, because they towed the car, because they picked them up out of a residence, out of
Okay.
a residential area, but
Okay.
they towed the car in as well.
Okay.
I was confused about that as well, because if y'all can't do the forensics for the car, everything in the car should have a forensics done on it.
Yeah, stayed in the car.
Okay, because remember, y'all don't believe his story. His story don't add up. So everything within the car that is taped off for slid, that gun should have been as well.
Yeah, especially with an
Okay,
open investigation.
right, right.
Mm.
Okay, well, they gave him back his gun.
Mm.
Okay, back and forth, because never did the city ever come to me to discuss my child death. Everything that I inquired on my child's death, I either had to go up there or call for the information. It was never okay. So now it's like probably the week before Christmas, the week of Christmas, I'm looking like, why ain't nobody being charged?
All right.
Okay, well, the chief of police tell me he talked to the solicitor
Yeah.
and trying to see what they could charge him with. But the solicitor was like, they didn't have enough to charge him with anything.
Mm.
Okay. But December 29th, I took it upon myself, because this is like the second time he done told me something the solicitor said to confirm why it haven't been any charges brought up yet.
All
Well,
right.
to go to the solicitor's office, the solicitor wasn't in, but remember, her paralegal words are just as confirmative,
Mm-hmm.
because her paralegal have all access to her. And she
Mm-hmm.
was like, and the paralegal was like, that case haven't been brought to the solicitor's office for no discussion. Right. Okay. That's how, yeah, girl. Yeah. So that's how I ended up. Now I'm contacting the mayor, the city,
Mm-hmm.
the city administrator. Okay. We create a time, we have a meeting. Well, the city administrator was selling, I told him, gave him everything, like everything, because I've been a detective too. So concerning this. So I'm telling him everything. So I'm telling him at this point
Yeah.
that it's a conflict with who jurisdiction it is.
Mm-hmm.
Could y'all please call SLED to come and take over this case? Okay. Well, through the mayor and the city administrator, they would give me just that concerning all the conflict of interest
Right.
that this for. Okay. Well, it took about a week or so. They told me they'll get back to me once they had. First of all, I was kind of uneasy about how the city administrator was like, what day will I be available to talk to SLED? What you mean?
Right.
I'm pretty sure SLED is not basing their time off of me. They're gonna
Okay.
give me okay. So that was a red flag for me.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, um, actually, I went looking for. I can't remember what I needed to talk to the chief of police about, but it was about the case. I went. They told me the chief was gone to have a meeting with the circuit solicitor.
Mm.
Okay. So that my meeting that was confirmed that was confirmed that I supposed to be having with SLED, the chief of police, like I said, on Wednesday, I went looking for him, but they was like he was gone to Chesterfield to have a meeting with the circuit solicitor. Okay. But my meeting with SLED was that Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Get to the meeting, get to the round table. The circuit solicitor there and not SLED. Those was my recommendations. That was my purpose of even actually going to the meeting because I don't want to talk to nobody now. I want to talk to SLED.
Right.
And I
Y'all
want
have a
SLED to
team.
tell me because at this point I don't want to hear nothing from none of y'all. Okay, I get there, everybody at the round table, the city, the county, the city administrator, the sheriff wasn't even there. The chief, his chief deputy was, but the sheriff wasn't even there. But a lot of stuff was said.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things that was said was the police told me he didn't tell me nothing about no gun. Girl, well, come to find out, he never mentioned anything about no gun. Okay, well, I really got upset in the meeting,
Mm-hmm.
and I looked at the city administrator, and I was like, Um, let me make sure I'm saying this right. Our previous meeting was based on me inquiring to have a meeting with SLED, correct? He was like, yes. I was like, is anybody at this round table a SLED agent? He was like, no. I walked out the meeting. Okay, her daddy stayed, her baby sister stayed, and my niece stayed. But I
Mm-hmm.
left the meeting. Well, the circuit judge confirmed that the video he seen from the store surveillance was very disturbing.
Mm.
Okay. Um the city is gonna this is on January the 15th. The city is gonna turn the case over to the sheriff's office. Okay, January 15th, sheriff office had already had charges. The judge then signed off on the charges. The county just sitting waiting for the city to turn the case over to them. If the county had charges before they got the case. What was wrong with the city that they never charged him with anything? All right, he is the main subject in this incident. Even though y'all detained him and let him go, why did y'all not inform him to not leave the city because they might need to question him again, etc. Right? Okay. Well, I guess none of that did take place. Well, January 15th, still a week later, Sheriff Department still waiting on the city to turn over the paperwork from everything that they have. Okay, well, it's like almost a week and a half in before they even get majority of the case from the city. And okay, the county took the case on January 15th. Well, the sheriff department was calling him on the subject on January 15th. They needed him to come in because they wanted the re-question. Even though supposedly he didn't have any knowledge that the sheriff office already had charges for him. Well, that they asked him to come in for questioning, he told them that he was out of town. He'll be back on Saturday or Sunday. He was riding with a friend, family member, truck driver. Okay, well, truck driver. So Sunday he called sheriff department back and said it was going to be a couple of more days because the truck broke down. Well, one of my family members was tipped off that he was in Virginia getting ready to drive trucks. Well, that they gave the information or whatever. The sheriff department reached out to that particular business, but he was already gone on the road. So actually, he wasn't with anybody. He left the state to go get a job. Okay, well, right, but I guess that he driving a company vehicle. I guess they got GPS tracking. Okay, GPS tracking put him in a couple of states, which the sheriff department did inquire. Like they wanted him to get closer back to the Carolinas before they try to apprehend him at this moment.
Holla!
Shout out Mickey. Mickey, you gonna be big. Like
I'm trying to conquer the world, coming from where I come from.
Hey, this your girl Mickey Truth, number one blogger in South Carolina. Hold on, wait, before I go, y'all make sure y'all tap in with me to book your slot. A lot of y'all be hitting me up on Instagram and the email wanting to just talk about content, whether you're an up-and-coming content creator or somebody just got questions about cases or whatever. Book your consultation with me now. The information is on the screen. Hey, make sure you get your slot, because my slots be filling up fast. Come join the Truth Team on Patreon. All documents that I use for my content is available to the members. So y'all come tap in with the Truth Team on Patreon.
What's up, Truth Team? I am here, okay? About to get a touch of love. Yes, I'm at Touch of Love Massage Shop, okay? Now listen, I've been getting my massages through Touch of Love for years, even before it was a shop to come to. But let me show you around, and then I got to get ready because I'm feeling a little tense. And let me tell you, if you work in like call centers, streamers, YouTubers, sitting at that desk all the time, you definitely need to be tapping in and get your massage. So let's take a tour.
So it was located in a nice multi business building. The suite was set up real comfortably. It was like to the back, and the candles was burning. The aromatherapy was definitely there. Okay, so I had to get undressed, and I'm like, yo, I gotta get all the way undressed. But anyway, like I said, being getting massages, Nakia is awesome at what she does. And let me tell y'all, them hands are blessed, okay? I got the full body massage, including, okay, the hot stones. And when I say that hour went so fast, I even went to sleep. And I always go to sleep during massage for some reason. But yeah, definitely needed that because y'all know I had a night ahead of me, okay?
Hey guys, I'm Nakia. I am the owner-operator of Touch of Love Massage Services. I always start with people. I start with the information of what massage is. So massage is the manipulation of muscles. Exercise is the manipulation of muscles. The only difference is we are manually using our hands to do those activities. So a lot of people look at massage as a luxury when really it's a health necessity. So I'm more on the medical side of things. So if you're experiencing any pain of any sort, muscles is 90% of pain. So I would recommend you to come and get a massage.
How can they follow you?
I do have my business page, Touch of Love Massage Services, on Instagram. I have Touch of Love Massage Services on Facebook. And if you want to set an appointment with me, you can look me up on Setmore. It's an app platform online where you can book appointments.
Hey, there you have it. And y'all, I feel like a new woman, but now it's time to party, so I'll catch y'all on the next one.